Hey guys, so as many of you know, the Minecraft 1.19 update was confirmed for us on Saturday during Minecraft Live, and that update is the Wild update. And so since I post Minecraft videos quite a lot on this channel, I thought you guys might be interested in hearing what my opinion is on the upcoming update. So yeah, that's what today's video is going to be. I'm assuming most of you guys all know it already, like what the update is, but for those of you who don't, I'm going to be going over all the features today and just telling you guys what they are and my opinions on them. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So obviously, I mentioned that 1.19 is going to be the Wild update. And you might be thinking, what does that exactly mean? And according to Minecraft developers, it seems like that's just going to mean a biome overhaul and some new mobs. That's basically it. Obviously, right off the bat here, something that is a good thing and also a bad thing is the Deep Dark has been unfortunately delayed again to 1.19. But honestly, I'm fine with it because they showed a lot of cool stuff and it's going to be worth the wait because as you're going to be seeing on screen right now, there is this new Deep Dark city, which is an insanely cool structure if you ask me. Like, that looks amazing. It's massive. It's got some new blocks, obviously. Like, it's got all the skulk sensors and the skulk catalyst and whatever they all are. I can't remember their names, but it's got all that skulk stuff. It introduces the mechanic of darkness or blindness. I think it's darkness. I can't remember for sure. But it adds that mechanic, and it is terrifying down there. Like, if you make too much noise, the skulk shriekers will just start screaming, and if that happens too often, the warden spawns. And you definitely don't want that to happen because it looks terrifying. He is a giant monster that I kind of want to fight, but at the same time, I am terrified for my life if I have to fight him. So that's definitely going to be interesting. They also said there's some really good loot there. I want to say they also said there was some exclusive loot. I cannot confirm whether or not that is true, but that's cool anyways. It gives you a reason to go down there. But this is obviously going to be a very late game feature because imagine if you just accidentally are digging down and you just fall into this. And you instantly activate the warden because that's a loud noise of you falling 20 blocks or whatever. It's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it, but I'm also terrified of it at the same time. So that's a very interesting feature. And just in general, the Deep Dark City, all the new skulk blocks, and the warden look really awesome. And I'm excited to get to play around with them. And I don't really care that we had to wait a couple more months, because what we are getting now instead of what we were originally going to get is so much better that it's just worth the wait. But anyways, moving on, something that I don't care about is just a feature that I think some people care about. They mentioned it a while back, and that was the boat with chest. It was something that they were like, hey, we might add this at a later date. Now they're adding it, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a boat with a chest in it. I mean, I guess that's a useful early game feature if you're moving around trying to look for a new location to start up your Minecraft world, if you don't like your spawn or something. But I'm probably not going to use it. I already have a long-term survival world. I have shulker boxes that do far better. That's just my opinion. It's not a feature I care about. It's a neat enough thing. I just don't care about it. So now getting to the actual, what I consider to be wild, which is the wilderness of Minecraft, above ground. They're going to be updating biomes, including the birch forest. And they showed a concept art still for this, and it looks pretty cool. But it doesn't really look a whole lot different, in my opinion. There's some fallen over trees that I guess would be converted over to Java. That's already on Bedrock, though, so that's nothing new. And then the other thing is it looks like there seems to be some sort of mushroom growing on the side. And we already have mushrooms on the ground, so do we really need a third type of mushroom? Or is it just going to be brown mushrooms on the trees? I don't know. It doesn't look too compelling right now. Hopefully they add some more stuff to that to actually make it interesting. But the bigger thing that I'm actually kind of excited about, because this is already a biome that I thought had some good potential, and they are really improving it in my opinion, and that is the swamp. This is like where many of the features have been announced for, and that's basically the swamp is getting an overhaul. There is going to be, first of all, some new mobs. There's going to be frogs, and there's going to be fireflies. Fireflies, I mean, they're 2 pixels, which is insanely small. That is like by far the smallest mob we've ever gotten. So that's interesting. They didn't say anything about them. I've seen a lot of people online saying that they want them to be able to be caught in jars to feed to frogs or to be used as a light source or something. I hope they do something to that effect. They make some use for the fireflies. They're not just ambiance. They look good as ambiance, but kind of hope that they have some functionality. Same with the frogs. The frogs, by the sounds of it right now, there are 3 variants. There is the regular frog, the tropical frog, and the snowy frog. So they're going to be in different biomes besides just the swamp. And, they look cute enough. They hop around on lily pads. They hop around on drip leaf, which I guess is adding to the new swamp. They're adding drip leaf to spawn there. That's cool enough. But, they don't have much functionality. They try to eat fireflies, and they jump around, and they croak. That's basically it right now. Again, I hope they get some sort of use. I don't know what that would be. I heard some people wanted them to drop like a frog's foot or something to use for potions. That would be interesting enough, but we haven't heard about anything from that right now. So the 2 mobs, they're cool enough. They add to the atmosphere of the swamp, but I want some functionality so that they're not just useless things sitting there. Anyways, something else that's going to be added to the swamp is a new tree type. And truth be told, I don't really care about this tree type. It's called the Mangrove Tree. It looks good in the wild, don't get me wrong. It's got these cool little like crate looking things, like I don't know what you would call them, roots, crates, I don't know, something. But those look cool on the bottom. But the actual wood itself, kind of lame. The stem, I can't remember what it looks like off the top of my head right now. The log, not the stem. But the log kind of just whatever. And then the planks and all that, it's getting like the whole set of wood stuff, obviously. But it looks exactly like jungle wood in my opinion. Like, I didn't see a side-by-side comparison, but if they just show me that photo and said, here's a nice little house, I would be like, oh, jungle wood. That's odd. An odd choice of wood because I don't really like jungle wood. But no, it's mangrove wood. So probably not a wood type I'm going to be using very often unless they like change it up a little bit. Maybe it's still in development. I hope it is because I don't like it right now. And it's already pretty similar to something we already have. But anyways, the mangrove tree, something interesting about it is the saplings. Because the saplings can grow just regularly or they can grow underwater, which is by the sounds of it how they're going to grow in the wild because obviously swamps are mostly water. So they're going to grow out of the water, which is unique. And also the saplings, instead of just like having a chance to drop them from the leaves, what they're actually going to do is they're going to, they're like just going to grow on the bottom of the leaves, which is, I mean, odd, I guess. Like, I don't get why they would change it up. It looks cool, I guess, but it's just an odd change. I like it. Like, it's interesting enough, but I'm just kind of curious as to why they did it. But anyways, speaking of the mangrove tree, we are getting a brand new biome in this update, and that is the mangrove biome. And I don't know if you want to actually consider it a new biome or just a swamp variant. I would probably consider it more a swamp variant. But basically, the mangrove swamp or mangrove biome, whatever you want to call it, is there's a ton of mangrove trees and there's some lily pads and whatever. It's a swamp, but there's a ton of mangrove trees, which there already are in regular swamps. But anyways, there is also a new block, and that is mud. And mud is just wet dirt. That is exactly what it is. It's an interesting enough block. It kind of looks like mycelium almost, like the color. So that's cool. And you can find it there, obviously. Or you can make your own mud. And you can do that by putting a water bottle on a dirt block. And at first I'm like, that's so stupid. Why wouldn't they just let you use like a water bucket like they do for concrete? And obviously that doesn't work because then all the dirt in every single biome would just turn to mud and it would look stupid. So I get why they did that now. I get why they used a water bottle instead of a bucket of water. I don't know how often you're going to do that. Like, how often are you going to need mud? But whatever. It's cool that it's renewable. Speaking of renewable blocks, clay is now renewable. Because if you put mud on top of dripstone, eventually it'll dry out. That's cool. They're already making clay basically renewable by having huge deposits of it in the lush caves in 1.18. So they don't really need that use anymore, but I guess Lady Agnes really likes being able to use clay and bricks, as she said in one of the previous Minecon lives or in some interview at some point where she's like, yeah, we need more clay in the game. So, I mean, it's a nice feature and all if I need a whole lot of bricks for something, which doesn't usually happen, but maybe that's a nice feature. Like, it's not hurting me to have it there, so kind of indifferent about it. But going back to mud quickly here. Something you can make with mud, speaking of like its connection to clay, is you can make mud bricks. And they look all right. I'd probably build with them from time to time. But yeah, it's cool enough. But that's basically it. It's just an aesthetic thing. Sorry, stumbling over my words. It's an aesthetic thing. It looks nice enough. Maybe it's different time to time. But yeah, don't really have a huge opinion on it right now. And that's actually all that I think they announced. I didn't actually watch Minecraft live, but I just kind of looked at some of the feature logs and looked at some YouTube videos after the fact. That's basically all that happened in the update so far. It's kind of a small update. I hope that they overhaul some more biomes, like maybe overhaul the savanna since the swamp was a loser of the biome vote and it's getting overhauled. Maybe overhaul the savanna as well. I would like that. That would be cool. But even just, I don't know, add some more to the birch forest as well, because those stills didn't look very good. And just maybe add a couple more biomes. That would be cool. But as it stands right now, it's kind of a minor update. And I hope that they do a little more with it, because at this point it's just like the deep dark and the swamps, and that's kind of a little lame if you ask me. Like, I like the features, it's just there's not really a whole lot to be excited for. So I'm hoping that this is not all there is to be excited for. But anyways, that is all for 1.19. I will quickly add on at the end here. The ally won the mob vote, which is, I didn't vote because I don't have a Twitter account and I didn't feel like making one. I didn't have strong opinions for any of the mobs. I would have voted for the ally, so I'm happy about that. I don't think it's going to, well, it could be added to 1.19, but they didn't say if it is or not, so that could also be coming to this update. It doesn't really fit the theme right now. I mean, it's still obviously in early development, so maybe it will eventually. But yeah, ally won the mob vote. That's cool enough. And that's basically all I have to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on some of these new update features are. I'd be curious to hear from you guys. But yeah, I apologize for a lack of videos lately. I've been very busy, not had a whole lot of time to play Minecraft, but after Minecon Live or Minecraft Live, honestly, I don't remember what it's called. After that came out, I was like, you know what? Let's just make this video. Let's play a little bit of Minecraft. And yeah, so yeah, see you guys in the next video, which will hopefully not be too far away, but I can't make any promises. But yeah, see you guys.